Big fat spoiler warning for Resident Evil 9. If you haven't played the game, if you don't want to know anything about it before you play it, do not watch the video. Go back, play the game, then watch the video. Please, thank you. Alright. How did those intros give you a feel? I know how it makes me feel to see those intros every time I start up a game. Just a little bit of chill bumps. You remember the first time you played them. What was your first Resident Evil game? Mine was Code Veronica. I remember watching my uncle play it in his living room and me begging him to let me play it. And then when he did, I spent the next 2 hours running into walls and dying to zombies and couldn't figure out why I couldn't hit them. But there was something about Resident Evil that just drew me in, even as a kid. And when I finally got my own copy of Code Veronica, it took me forever to beat it. Actually, I got it when I was about 10, and I was a freshman in high school when I finally beat the game, because I just couldn't grasp how to actually beat it. I actually would still go to GameStop and buy, for the PS2, all the other Resident Evil games. And I have played every single Resident Evil game, beaten every single Resident Evil game. That's why I wanted to make this video. We've had such a wash with video games lately, especially single player games, where they were high expectations and they got let down, and the survival horror genre has just went down the chute. We don't get much, and when we do, it's a letdown. So Resident Evil 9, it's a good game, it really is, but is it a good Resident Evil game? That's the actual question. I mean, it has the normal Resident Evil tropes, and I think personally why so many people love this game is because there's that slight little bit of an itch for nostalgia. It scratches something that you were missing, that's not been in previous titles, that we haven't seen in a while. And I don't think anyone actually sees the true picture, because I mean, I very controversially liked most of the Resident Evil games, and I have one title that I was not a fan of. Not saying it wasn't a good game, it just wasn't my cup of tea. I liked Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, controversial, and 7 to me was possibly my least favorite out of the series. Now Village I enjoyed a lot. I just wasn't a big fan of the first person for Resident Evil. That's why you'll see coming through here, I play Grace in third person just like I do Leon. Now this first episode is going to strictly be about Grace, and that's how I'm going to do on consecutively. Each episode is going to be breaking down each character's story for that half. Whenever it goes to switch over, I will find a stopping point that I feel is necessary for the end of that story, and then I will swap over to the next one. We do overshoot Leon's story a little bit in this. It's fine. I'm not too worried about that. We'll go back when I do the Leon video, if this one does well, and go through his. But I want to focus on each playstyle and each game and talk about how I feel about it. Now do note that this is not an expert opinion. I have played all of the Resident Evil games. I did enjoy all of them. But this is my opinion. This is not fact. I'm not saying that I'm right and you're wrong. I'm not saying that Capcom doesn't know what they're doing, but sometimes I feel that way. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is my opinion on it. This is how I feel, and I would love to know how you feel. This is going to be rougher than my normal videos because it's just not me editing in some funny, quirky moments and then getting out. I'm putting more effort into this. I want to turn this channel into this, and I hope you like it. But without further ado, let's break into this fun time that I'm wanting to have by talking about this game. First off, Grace is a very likable character. She's a very pitiful character. You find yourself feeling sorry for her in this situation. The fact that, number one, she is in the same area at the beginning that she watched her mom get brutally murdered right in front of her. Her facial features, they're so realistic. The voice actor did an amazing job. I can't express enough on how much I love the voice acting in this game. The 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 artistic view with the way that every shot is taken is great in this game. I My biggest gripes with this game is just on who Grace is, not her character. I do feel like they try to overdo the whole anxiety part of it. I mean, through this beginning area when she's talking to this cop, she won't make eye contact with him. She stares at the ground. She keeps her attention pulled away from him. She, Grace, you can tell she is not only got severe anxiety issues. She's severely depressed and quite possibly has PTSD. But she's also supposed to be an FBI um, technical analyst. I had an issue at first because Grace does not have her pistol on her hip. She is not carrying. I did do some research before I put my foot in my mouth. A technical analyst doesn't necessarily have combat training. I would guess that the FBI would let them get combat training, but I don't know. I've never been in the FBI. I don't know anybody that's in the FBI. It's limited research, just enough to get my sources correct as far as when I go to say something. I mean, all a technical analyst does is they support investigations by analyzing complex data, maintaining technical infrastructure, and providing expertise in cybersecurity, digital, um, yeah, just they do stuff behind the computer. I, so they don't go through apparently 20 weeks, the 20 weeks of training. I think it said that they go through, if they go through the same amount as an intelligence analyst, which is what Google says Grace is, but in the game right there at the beginning, if they go through the same amount of time, they go through 9 weeks. So they don't get they don't go through the last extra 9 weeks that is the tactical training, firearms training, and arrest techniques. So I don't know why they would send Grace. I kind of personally believe that Grace was set up by the people she works for, which would honestly be the government, whatever. It's kind of hinted at later on that the government knows and has to deal with the issue, the big baddie. So I don't know what the big deal there is. Uh, I'm not 100%, but they send this analyst to here by herself, unarmed, because I can about guarantee you the pistol that she pulls out of her backpack. Don't get me started on the fact that her handgun is in her backpack while she's going to an investigation site. There's no information if it's still a hot site, if it's cold. But she is going to an already processed crime scene, so there you go. The way I look at it, imagine this: you turn on your Criminal Minds episode, and the gang sends Penelope out to the crime scene to look at an already processed crime scene. Penelope stays behind the computer. They send her stuff. I mean, it's not to say anything bad about the analysts. They're freaking geniuses, and to do what they do is just amazing. But they are not a boots on the ground person, so she shouldn't be where she's at. And that being said, Grace's character is so pitiful, and it makes you feel so protective over her. I mean, I felt bad every time I got Grace hurt, and that's coots to her voice actors. I mean, they did motion capture for the faces, and it did so well. But her voice acting was amazing. At least personally to me, the screams, how scared she sounds meek. She doesn't seem like she's capable to be in the situation she is. Everything with Grace feels like life and death. Every zombie encounter, every situation where you have the boss and all that, I I feel sorry for Grace in this one, and I really do like Grace. I wish they would have done it like she was trying to research why her mom was killed, and that's why she's going back to the scene, and that would have made more sense than she got sent. But there's probably gonna be a Resident Evil that's following up on this, and you'll learn more. But until then, all I have is what I have and what I'm going off of. And if she wasn't set up, it doesn't make any sense to me. That's the only explanation I have for it. She was set up. They were trying to get Grace given to the guy that wants her. So they sent her. And you just feel sorry for her. I mean, even when she points the gun here, you'll see she visibly shakes. Don't get me started yet again with the fact she has her handgun that she's going to use for self-defense inside of her backpack that she has to dig through to pull out. Jesus, I'm pretty sure she has the safety on there. That's why she looks at it that way. I don't know. She looks at it like she's like, oh, what do I do with this? That part right there where she goes, what do I do? Is so pitiful. I'm not gonna lie. There's a part where she gets captured, and both parts she gets captured. I got literally mad the first time I played it. I'm like, you leave her alone. It's a super fun game. My question is though, is it a good Resident Evil game? Because though you have this scary, slow-paced gameplay, if you play the game correctly and you're at least halfway decent at these games, there's never a moment where you feel like you're running out of bullets. There's never a moment where you feel like you're running out of heals. I mean, it's not a Silent Hill 2 situation. Now, they did the remake of Silent Hill 2, absolutely phenomenal. I remember I get to the Pyramid Head fight. That's not really a fight, and I've played these games, so I get to a section, I know what's gonna happen, and I know I don't gotta fight him. I'm like, they expect you to waste bullets, so I'm gonna grab them. I walked into that boss fight, and no bullets spawned because I personally had too many bullets on me, and that literally confused the heck out of me, and I'm so glad they did that because that's survival horror. They don't want you to have an abundance of ammunition. If you have an abundance of ammunition, you don't need more ammunition. That means you're trying to play smart with your ammo, but we're also going to make you wait before you can get more. You're going to have to deal with what you got. I didn't feel that in this game because it has a crafting system, and Grace's crafting system is easier to get materials for than Leon's. Leon, you get a lot of bullets, you just find them, but as far as the crafting goes, Grace has an abundance, and I never once ran out of regular ammunition, and I never once ran out of the revolver, the Requiem ammunition, which is insane. I'm pretty sure that you had a set amount for that one-shot pistol in Veronica. It's been forever since I've played it, but I'm pretty sure you had a set amount, and it was like 3 or 4. And the Requiem, which is basically a one-shot on most every basic enemy. I mean, you can't go in the boss fights, unload, and they're dead. Or with just shoot one shot and they're dead. It's going to take multiple shots. The Requiem is really good to save for the Crimson Heads, and I'm pretty sure that's what they are, as Crimson Heads in this game. And yeah, it's just an easy. The game is easy, and I don't know if that's just me because of the way I play the games. But I still, to this day, if I go back and play the originals, I have issues. But when I play these games, I don't have issues. And I don't know if this is necessarily Capcom catering to their newer audience, or if it's the thought process of like most of the audience, the old fans of Resident Evil, are employed. And that's not even just a joke, that's the truth. If you're an old fan, you, I'm 27, I'm about to turn 28. The Resident Evils came out before I could play them. So most of the old fans, you're working age. You most of us have a family. We've got things we got to do. So maybe it's making short, sweet games that throws back to the old times, but it's not impossible to get through. That's not what we want. We want the difficulty of Resident Evil. And this game does have the jump scares down pat. That deer, I literally jumped in my seat the first time. Scared the shit out of me. I liked the remakes. They changed some stuff in the remakes. The remakes felt shorter, felt easier. A lot of the reason the remakes was a little bit easier is because you have this over the shoulder, just like right now what I'm doing, and you don't have to worry about it. Worry about the whole. You hold the gun out, it shoots. It's a random chance if you get a headshot to kill him immediately, whatever. So that may have been one of the reasons why it felt so quick and easy for me. But, I don't know. There was a lot missing in them. Resident Evil 4, absolutely amazing remake. They did great. Didn't feel like anything changed. Only thing that really changed in that is you can actually walk and shoot instead of stand still and shoot, which was a great decision to freaking change when they did. I remember going back before they remade it, and I played the PS4 version of it on PS5, and every time you have to stop to shoot, I'm just going, oh my god, why do I gotta stop? I'm not for sure. I think it was to slow the pace down, because you got that over the shoulder, so it adds a little extra on the difficulty side, because you gotta make sure you're pacing between the zombies, Las Plagas, infected, whatever you want to call them, is different. But they did pretty good with Grace. She doesn't, the guns don't shoot very fast, so you have that issue. But even with Leon, it doesn't feel like they shoot fast unless you get your automatic, of course. But a lot of the pacing with Grace's story fits old school Resi really well, but it doesn't feel like there's enough of a danger. Unless you get into certain locations. Like certain locations with Grace that I die more than once. I think I've died like a total of maybe 5 times playing through the game. I died one time with Leon because there's a chainsaw guy. If he hits you one time, you're screwed. I got grabbed by another zombie. Chainsaw guy was there, killed me. I died the rest with Grace in a very specific location that was actually my favorite part, but it was also the most anxious I was. These callback scenes, these flashbacks, they're done really well. Leads me to believe right there that she has slight anxiety problems to begin with, wanting to grab her mom's hand.
What am I gonna do with you?
I don't know.
What you always do? Nag at me until I go to bed? Oh, it's really coming down hard.
You can tell how good the motion capture did with most of their faces. There's a couple times where Leon's face looks a little off, but I think part of that's too is because the whole Leon's infected thing
Hello?
is there.
Yes.
I'm not for sure. I know it really seems like I am giving this thing amazing reviews right now, and I'm not saying anything bad really, but we're just in this prologue area. Now, one of my big gripes about this
Grace,
is this prologue is so long. It feels so long because of how slow and dull it is. Now, first time you play it, it's not a dull prologue. It's a very good prologue to begin your game with the first time you play it, but there's no option to skip it. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game one time. It had a pretty decently long prologue, but you had the option to skip it. And then Fallout New Vegas, it doesn't really have a prologue, but they have tutorial sections right at the beginning. You go and meet Sandy. Sandy teaches you how to shoot. You go help her kill some geckos, and then you can go and she'll teach you how to craft things and all that. You don't have to do that. You can tell her you don't want to, and she'll say fine, and then you get to go do whatever you want. First time you do it, first time you play the game, yeah, you want to do it, you want to learn all this stuff, but once you learn it, you don't want to do it again. Same thing with the prologue. The only thing that prologue gets you through is it sets up, okay, this is how Grace is. Grace is very skittish, she's very meek, she's very timid is the best word I can give for it. And it shows that she has these issues, like with anxiety. You see how she holds the gun, her hands shake. It sets up a really big, like, this is how this character is in that moment. But once you play it the first time, you already know all that. So you go back and play it the second time, and you still have to go through that, which makes it seem ungodly long. And it did drag on for me, the next playthroughs, but it's not a game, and it's not a game-breaking thing. It doesn't make the game bad. It's just my personal opinion on that. I would prefer to be able to go past all this and carry on. Now, that hooded guy she just shot, I personally kind of believe that is, he's not the main guy, he's kind of like the second hand to the main bad guy. But I think that's him. I'm not for sure if anywhere in the game it says that it was. When I play these games, when I'm gathering footage, even when I'm recording, like I said, my son's here, he's 9 months old. So he takes naps, he wakes up, he wants to play, I play with him, and most of the time I take the time but in cutscenes and stuff to play with him. I kind of catch what's being said, I kind of catch what's going on. Sometimes I miss it, so it's going to take me consecutive playthroughs to understand all of this. I'll miss things here and there, but after a couple times I'll get the whole thing. Now, but back to it, I do think he is the same guy, just because it's covering the eyes and all that. It just kind of makes it seem like a lot. I also have a strange, like, conspiracy theory that this is like a earlier or unrefined strain of the Las Plagas parasite, and not really the virus, because of how the zombies act in here, or infected. I don't know if they count as zombies, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I personally believe it's a Las Plagas, just because of how he infects them with the darts. A lot of people get bit and don't turn, and the way that I mean, they're using weapons just like the villagers in 4, just a little less refined motor skills. So, kinda makes me believe that this is a Las Plagas breakout situation with the darts and all that. And there's a little callback here. He falls. Right there's that same whiskey or liquor of some kind. Kind of looks like, I don't know. Anyway, it's that same, maybe it's bourbon, I don't know. But that same liquor is on the table when you walk into the one place. It's like a callback. I think it's him. But it don't really know if there's burn marks or not. This whole part here when she's screaming, she did so good. She did such a good job at it. It's another reason why I'm not so heavy with how she acts here. Because, I mean, you go through a traumatic experience, someone murders your mom or whatever. Yeah, you go to that place, you're going to have high emotions and whatever. And how you handle that is how you handle trauma is also going to affect how you do. And she's a very meek person, so fear is how she's going to act. When someone different would just be really angry the whole time, super pissed off, kicking indoors, wanting something to happen, wanting to burn the place down, all that. She just doesn't want to be there. And I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't pick up the phone. I'd be out. Because whoever took those pictures wants me to know that they've been watching me. I'm going to some other country, changing my name, dyeing my hair, going for facial implants, something like that. I am not dealing with this crap. I'm telling you. Pretty sure there's a fire escape right out that window too. That's where I'd be taking it. I ain't going back out the front door. You got me messed up. I have a couple more, but I'll wait till it gets there when I say why I believe it's Las Plagas.
I'll explain later.
Parasite instead of just T-virus. I don't like how she runs neither. Now, she really books it when she gets scared. She also falls a lot too, though. There's a couple times later on. I'll explain it when it gets there. She falls, and it almost screws me. I did to make the video fit for, Share Factory, because I'm editing all this on PlayStation. I did have to cut some of the gameplay out, which is fine, it's no big deal. But some of the stuff did miss.
Sorry, officer. What's wrong? Are you okay?
This is a really good zombie transformation here. I like how they showed it.
What do I do?
As far as graphics goes, and the way they set some things up, they did a great job at it. Especially on the video game side. Yes, there's nothing like the standard Resident Evil scene where you go around the corner and there's a zombie eating the corpse that slowly turns its head and looks at you. I mean, hell, even some games use that as their revealing of, oh, that's the monster. I remember the first time I played it, I didn't pay attention to the X at the bottom of the screen. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, what do you expect me to do, game? I was just evading the entire time. Alright, here. She picks this up to wave him away. Stand up. He starts to stand up. Bites it. Push him down. He comes back up, and then right through the out socket out the back of the head. Right through the eye socket. Pulls it out. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but regular T-virus, that should have just offed him. I do think it's a little insane that right here stabs him in the throat after that head trauma, and then throws him out a window, and that was enough to do him in. That was enough to finish the job and kill him. Makes no sense to me. But hey, whatever. I'm not an expert. I didn't make these games. Nor do I know anything that extensive about it. I only know basic game lore on Resident Evil. Which is probably why I had so much fun playing Resi 6 and 5. They didn't bother me that much. I had a blast playing them. She's probably the first game protagonist to think it's weird that an entire decrepit building has a light on it just randomly. I mean, you travel in games and stuff, go into dungeons and there's torches lit and everything. Nobody questions that. At least Grace notices. Hey, why is that light on? Someone had to turn it on. But she does have the blonde girl trope that instead of getting the hell out of Dodge, she's gonna go check out and see what the big scary noise is and get murdered. Curiosity always kills the blonde white girl in a scary movie. That's just basic. Cats and white and blonde white girls are the ones that gets offed due to curiosity. I gotta go check out and see what that is. Immediately after getting attacked by a rabid man. Yeah, dude. Some weird dude sitting there with a freaking metal helmet next to him. He just eerily Ebenezer Scrooge in it in this freaking random ass room in an abandoned hotel, and you're just gonna stand there and try to talk to him? Nah, I'm out. Homeboy can enjoy his bourbon and his firelight all by himself. I don't need to be there. And his old school record player. Nah, bro. Don't stand up. I'm out. Don't waste the energy. Enjoy your night. But no, she stands there, talks to the giant albino scary man. If I was tied upside down like that, I don't think I could have had it to me to, like, figure it out like she did. I think I'd have been too busy panicking. I know this fall right here that she does did not feel good at all. Here's where we get into the meat and potatoes of Grace's story. This is where the game starts to pick up and get really fun. I do like how she's been getting her blood drained. They actually, hey, we need to point out the fact that she's not going to be all to it right away, even though she does stand right up and start dealing with things. Yeah, no shit, that's a lot of blood. Here's where we meet this game's version of a nemesis or Mr. X. It's called The Girl, I think. Or The Shadow Ghost is what the kids' book calls it. Don't get me started on that. I will get started on that when it comes to. I think The Shadow Ghost is the weakest name for a scary kids book. Like I said, I cut out some stuff that was mostly gathering all the shit that you need just so you can get out of here. But I wanted to leave this in because this is one of my gripes here. Shadow Ghost. I really do not like that name, but it starts off strong. Have you seen the Shadow Ghost hiding in the dark? That starts off good. But now think back to every kid's book in a scary movie. They rhyme. This one doesn't. Have you seen the Shadow Ghost staying from the light? There's no rhyme. There's no rhyme at all. Have you seen the Shadow Ghost? Because she's been watching you. Okay, that's scary, I guess. Stay in the light. that, you don't need to tell me that either. That's a little too much information. Leave it at the 1. Don't say that. Leave it to thing. Now here's where you send your kid to therapy when they draw some shit like that. Nah, fam. Honey, you gotta go see the nice man in the white coat. That door scared me. Door jump scares always get me, even though I know they're coming. Just like the window jump scares, where the freaking zombie dog jumps through the freaking, or Cerberus is what they're called in this, but what they're called in Resident Evil. But when the freaking zombie dogs jump through the windows, every time it gets me. That one got me too. Here's my next gripe. They know that this infection thing is going on. Because this looks like a bite. This doesn't just look like a dart. This looks like a bite. Here's my first gripe with the big enemy, though. Now, above you, there is a gigantic hole this monster grabs. It crawls in and out of. Why is she standing behind me for one and choose to grab the dead zombie dude? Just to scare me? I'm pretty sure warm blood's better than cold blood. Should have had her arm come down from the hole she climbs out of, pick up the zombie, and all you can see is this long, scary arm and hand. Grab the zombie, bring it up, you hear her crunch the head off, you see the blood pour down from the legs, and then she slowly creeps out of the hole at you. That would have been freaking terrifying. The only thing that did was make me question why the hell would she grab the zombie and not me.
What the hell was that thing?
This did give me anxiety the first time moving these things around. The whole bumpy cart and shit. I don't even know what you bump it on there, but man, it scared the shit out of me. Seeing that hand, the first time you play this enemy seems so scary, but you very quickly learn the trope and how scripted this whole thing is, because it's not hard to avoid. There's no fear in it. Literally the only scary part is right here. And then when you first run away from her. Right here, you're stuck in the room with her. Now, first time I play it, I'm hiding here. And I sneak over just like I do here. That box starts to act like it's gonna fall. So I'm panicking. I just know that it's gonna fall and let her know I'm here. It doesn't. And you're hiding. She starts sniffing. You hear her sniffing. Right here. She turns around and she starts hitting the boxes off. Thought she seen me the first time I played. So I take off running. She catches me with a right hook right at the door. And then freaking grabs me and eats me. That'll be it for this one. That's all I have to say left. I gotta go work and edit on the other ones. And yeah. So, I have a blast talking about this stuff. I can talk for hours. Okay. Let's get you guys back with the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. I know it was probably rough. It's also a big change from what my channel normally is. It's not a funny video. This is a legitimate breakdown of a game. Trust me, it took me a while to put this together. There was a lot of deleting and a lot of re-recording to make sure that everything turned out at least halfway decent. If this does well, I'll I'll put in more work for it because I enjoy doing stuff like this. This is the videos that I listen to. This is what I like to listen to on YouTube. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you like it and want more, let me know and I'll complete the series out. Each episode to this series will be specifically one character. I'm not going to try to mush them both into the same one. I do all my editing from the PlayStation, so I can only make hour-long videos, and I'm not trying to push an hour-long video, but with as much footage as I can create, as much as I'll talk, it would take an hour for me to break down both characters in one video. It'd take longer than that, and I like to do an intro and an outro. It's just one of the things I love to do. So I hope you guys did enjoy it as much as I did making it, and thank you. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 people that watch the video. I enjoy creating things. I enjoy people enjoying the things I create. So I do hope you guys like this, and remember, just give it a like if you did. If you don't, you don't have to. Tell me what I did wrong. I'm up for constructive criticism. But remember, as always, stay wild, stay free, stay healthy. I'll catch you guys back with the next one.